So I'm going to be talking parts of a Java class. We already kind of did some of this, such as the fields, methods, and I even showed a constructor, but we're going to go over it again. So fields pretty much specify date or state of class. They're defined at the top. These are essentially the fields or instance variables. Methods is what a class can do. So right here we declared this method, and this is area, so this is something that the class can actually do. And then next we have constructors. So when you initialize the class to construct a object, like what happens is we instantiate these attributes right here, or these properties or instance variables. So I pretty much said all of them. But fields can also be called instance variables, object variables, or properties, and they hold data for the object. So in this case it was height and width. For the AP CSA exam, you're gonna declare instance variables as private. So before they were public, because I'm not used to the AP exam, plus you should declare them as private anyway, so I should have been doing that. But you can see these instance variables are both declared private, width and height. And what that means is only this class can access this. I can't just go in here and type width or something and then compile that out. See, it gives you private access to rect. So I can't just access that as like I would in a public variable. So we're actually going to be using getters and setters for that, which I'll talk about later, and we'll add it to this class. There we go. Constructors. So class makes the object and executes the constructor to initialize the values of fields or instance variables. We only use public constructors on the exam. So right here you can see our constructor is public. It initializes and instantiates the two instance variables to this variable and this variable. So when you plug 2 and 4, it goes in here, 2 and 4, then 2 is the width, and then 4 is the height. So a question would be, what describes the purpose of a class's constructor? Initialize the fields in an object. Essentially that's what you normally do with it. But as soon as you instantiate an object, it constructs the object and runs that constructor. Anything you want to do to construct that object occurs. So methods, we already talked about this, but they define behavior. Once again, we're going to talk about that again, but defines behavior of this rectangle class. And most methods on the exam will be public. If you want to just access them straight in here, you can declare them as private, but on the exam most of them will be public. They're specified after the constructor, so constructors usually at the top like it is here, and then you have it right here. And they can take input parameters. In this case we're not using input parameters, but you can have input parameters, and these are essentially input parameters like in the constructor. And then let's make some getters and setters for this thing. So if you go to the bottom, public get width, return width, set width, height, Alright, so we declared the getters and setters for the width and the height. Let's start using them. Let's only have 2. It's a little cumbersome when you have more than that. So let's grab the width and the height. of this. Alright, let's do area too, screw it. Let's do both of them. Alright, let's compile it out. Oh. Let's compile the rectangle first. Oh, I forgot to put int in here. There's compile error. Just talked about that. I don't know. Spelled it wrong. I had an I in there in accident. Java main. You can see with height area, with height area. So they're all in there. So that's pretty much all I was gonna talk about for this. Tune in next time. Peace.